Hi, I'm the trainer from onlinetrainings24.com and I have around 17 years of experience, and I worked for a couple of companies like what I call MNCs, where we have implemented this MDM for providing solutions for different customers. Yeah. And I'll just try to touch upon some glitches about this particular MDM, which you could see as part of this particular presentation, where we have what we call master data, MDM, master data management, and different components that we have within this MDM hub. And then we will talk about architecture, batch and real-time data flow processes. Apart from that, I'll also touch upon like different types of users who are going to make use of this particular MDM hub, or we could say that the stakeholders who would be part of this particular MDM hub. And then I'll touch upon industry scenarios where there is a need to think of using MDM so that we could provide very precise solution than compared to other tools of what we have in data warehousing universe. Yeah. So let me just touch upon let's say what is meant by what I call master data. Yeah. So in order to understand master data, first we need to understand what is meant by object or subject area or business entity or business data driven element or essential aspect of any business. Yeah. For example, let us take a customer is going to be the one of the subject area, which means in case if we identify the customer as a subject area in CRM domain, then what do we need to do? We need to identify a way to get what we call right data for this particular customer. Yeah. For example, let us say if the customer is holding account in two banks, namely bank 1 and bank 2. Yeah. And due to some business reasons, one bank acquired by another bank because of what we call mergers or acquisitions. Because of that, what happens here is there is going to be a duplicate data corresponding to this particular customer. So out of these two records, how are we going to come up with what I call good data? To do that, MDM or master data management is going to help us on doing that. That is where what we call master data would come in. Yeah. Just to define master data in simple terms, it is a common core entities with its attributes along with associated values that would be contributed in order to what we call critical to the any company's business, which means we are going to take data from two banks after merger, then come up with a what we call good data, which we call master data, which will be taken as a base for taking the business decisions, right? Then after that, we could think of this building master data in several domains, like we have product domain, supply domain, vendor domain, contract domain, location domain, and so on. We could think of what I call building master data on several domains. So that is where what I call Informatica MDM is leading the market, because it is a multi-domain master data management tool. Yeah. So we have several MDM tools in the market. Out of them, Informatica MDM is leading the market because of one reason which we discussed. Likewise, we have several reasons which will be discussed in detail in the coming sessions. Yeah. Now, we will talk about what is meant by MDM. So, MDM means what? As the name suggests, master data management, which means in order to manage the master data, we use what I call MDM. In this particular MDM context, we have what we call several forms of MDMs depending upon the type of domain that we are going to deal with. For example, if we are going to deal with what we call supplier domain, then we have to have what we call supplier form of MDM. And if you are going to deal with product subject area or product domain, then we have to have what we call product form of MDM. Likewise, we have several forms of MDMs depending upon the type of domain that we are going to deal with. Yeah? We will talk about them like how each form of MDM that we could build a solution in future sessions. Yeah? And now the next topic is what we have is components of MDM Hub. Especially in this particular presentation, I am going to focus on Informatica MDM only because this is the one of the what you call prominent among several MDM tool, and our what we call thought processing is going to be based on what we call Informatica MDM, yeah, where we are going to talk about the several components of what we have in this particular MDM hub. Like we have model, quality, identity, reliability, hierarchies, stewardship, sync or unification. I repeat, model, quality, identity, reliability, stewardship, sync or unification. These are the what I call several components of what we have in this MDM hub, and each of these component will be discussed in detail with practical examples in coming sessions. Yeah? After that, we are going to talk about what we call architecture of what we have in this Informatica MDM hub. Yeah? The kind of architecture that Informatica MDM follows what we call three-tier architecture, which can be extended to n tiers. For example, in 3 tiers we have client layer, server layer, and data or meta layer. If we talk about the first layer, where we have what I call hub console, which is a client where we are going to make use of this particular client for 3 types of users, namely designers or developers, administrators, and data stewards. These are the what I call essential users of this particular MDM hub console. And the second layer is server layer, where we have hub server, client server, and mass server. So hub server will be used for handling MRM, which is master reference manager, hierarchy manager, and activity manager. And client server will be used in order to take care of cleansing, standardization, and enrichment. And mass server will be used in order to identify duplicates in terms of exact and fuzzy match strategies. Yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about that, like each component of what we have in each of these server in detail in future sessions. Yeah. And third layer, we have what we call hub store. Hub store is a place where we are going to store master database information as well as ORS, which is operational reference store information. Yeah. So which means if you say product domain, you will have product ORS. If you say customer domain, we have to have customer ORS. Likewise, if we have n number of domains, then we have to have n number of what we call or proportionate number of ORS database instances that need to be created. So these two types of databases like a master and ORS databases will be part of Hub Store, which means there will be a one-to-many relationship between master and ORS database instances, and how data flow takes place among these three layers will be discussed in detail in the later sessions, but I'll just touch upon like how the data flows from what I call client to data layer. Yeah. For example, let us say we have a one type of job, let us say stage job, which was created by developer. Now, after execution of that particular job, then what happens is control will be sent to client server where it is going to perform cleansing activities. As a result of that, what we call cleansed data will be stored onto the respective ORS, let's say customer ORS. After that, you will get a response all the way back to the requested client where you could able to see the status of that particular job. Likewise, we will talk about many more flows in terms of developers, administrators and data stewards, so that you will get better clarity like what happens in this particular architecture. Yeah. Now the next topic is what we are going to talk about, batch data flow process, which means when we get data from source systems, how are we going to what we call make the data to be flown across several layers of what we have in this MDM hub. For example, let us say we have what we call landing layer, staging layer, loading layer, matching layer, merge layer, publish layer. These are the what we call core and essential layers of what we have in batch data flow process. Yeah. Out of them, the first and foremost layer is what? Landing layer, where we are going to get the data from source systems and populate data to the landing tables, either by using ETLs or by using ESBs or by using MOMs or by using some other third-party tools through which we are going to make data to be populated onto the landing tables. Yeah? Once we are done with that, then the next step is going to be what? We need to apply different cleansing activities. To do that, we have to go with next layer, which we call staging layer, where we are going to transfer the data from landing to staging. In between, we are going to build what we call different cleanse activities. As a result of that, what we call we could execute stage job so that data will be transferred from landing to what we call staging. Yeah. As part of this staging layer, we have several features like a data archival, delta detection, and also we have PRL tables, OPL tables, reject tables, and so on. All of them will be discussed in detail once we start this particular layer. We have this as part of separate module where each topic will be taken as a base, and we'll start with a what we call concept as well as what we call practical session, so that it is easy for all of us to understand like what happens in this particular layer. Yeah. Once we are done with that, then output of this staging table should be sent to where? To do that, we have to go with a what I call next layer, where we have loading layer, through which we can make the data to be loaded from staging tables to base object tables. I repeat, as part of this loading layer, we are going to load the data from staging tables to base object tables. That could happen either through straight through or pass through, or we could also load the data onto the base object tables by applying trust, validation, lookup and nullability. So we are going to use several features of what we have in this MDM hub and get the data loaded onto the what we call base object tables. Base object table, sorry. So once we do that, then the next step is going to be what? We are going to go with match layer, where we are going to identify duplicates, yeah, by using exact match strategy or fuzzy match strategy. Anyway, I'm going to talk about what are these strategies, trust, validation, all of them in detail in the coming sessions. Yeah. And then once you identify duplicates, then the next step is going to be what? How are we going to convert these duplicated records to a golden record? To do that, we have a separate layer which we call merge layer, where we could come up with a golden record which is going to be the outcome of MDM, which will be done either by using auto merge process or manual merge process. Yeah. So through which we are going to get a golden copy, which will be the outcome of this MDM. Once we do that, in order to make this what I call thing to be notified to the external applications or consumers, we have to go with other layer which we call publish, through which we can make MDM hub to talk to the external applications. This is a simple data flow process of what we have. So anyway, we will talk about each layer in detail with practical examples in the later sessions. Yeah, that's about what I call basics about this particular demo. I'll talk about that each and every point of what we have in this particular MDM hub with practical sessions in the later session. Thank you very much.